So basic idea about our immune system is like this one, in which these are our normal body cells, let's say, and these are some sort of bacteria which has intruded inside, which somehow got inside, and is now producing all these toxins that are actually affecting the cells. It is going there and is actually attacking all those cells, resulting in some sort of physiological distress or whatever. Now during all that, maybe the cell is all getting dead or degrading, or somehow some way it is actually affecting the cells in the normal physiology and everything. Okay, so what happened is during that time, all this wait a second, let me mark this as the toxins. All right, so what happened is all these cells, the one which are there, it will start producing something called a signaling molecule, some sort of signaling molecule. Okay, which it is going to release from itself, like from those damaged tissues. They are going to start releasing all those specific messenger molecules. Okay, now this messenger molecule will diffuse to the blood and will start traveling with it. The blood will now start carrying all these molecules along with it. This molecule it has the tendency of activating or initiating um, this immune cells, this lymphocytes called the B cells. It has a tendency of activating them. Okay, so this will lead to proliferation of the B cell. All right, forming a specific B cell called the memory B cell, which will retain this knowledge, means this whatever molecule has come and bound with it. So it will remember that particular molecule for the future, that if any time it again enters, then immediate response can be initiated, or it can be triggered. At the same time, this B cell which is proliferating will now differentiate into something called these plasma cells. Now plasma cells have the property of production of a large amount of antibodies. Okay, so it has the property of production of antibodies. Now when these antibodies are getting produced, these antibodies will actually go and bind with all of those toxin molecules that was there produced, because this is happening in the blood, and systematically it will travel with the blood to that particular distinct location again, and then all these antibodies will now come and bind with the toxin, thus stopping the entire effect of the toxin to that of the cell. Thus the cell can be survived, it can be saved. Okay, but this thing to happen, this activation of B cell, it is not a direct process. Actually activation of B cell requires the influence of another like even actually not one but rather two more type of cells. One will be the macrophages, which are called the APC, or that means antigen presenting cell. Now this antigen presenting cell will actually in turn activate a specific cell of our body known as the T helper. Okay, this T helper cell will then activate the B cell. It has the property to activate the B cell, because direct it will happen only with the memory B. In reality, it is the T helper which is actually activating the B cell for the first instance. Okay, now when this happens, means, and by the way, this is going to recognize the toxin molecule instead. All right, so when that happens, this T also will activate another type of molecule, another molecule, another cell, which is called the T cytotoxic, which will transform itself into though it doesn't look any different. Okay, it's just going to transform it into cytotoxic T lymphocyte. Okay, the T cytotoxic cell will get transformed into cytotoxic T lymphocyte. In a way, the name remains same, isn't it? It's just that this particular activated form of the T cytotoxic cell is actually able to produce a specific kind of molecules. Okay, series of proteins and other kind of molecules, which has the property to we can say, which has a proper, like these are called complement proteins. Okay, so these complement proteins can actually go and directly it can kill all those bacteria or whatever pathogen has in like was actually attacking the body. Okay, it can go and directly damage or kill all of them. All right, so this complement protein actually then is the one which actually cleans it out. Not only this, the T helper is also responsible for activation of all the agranulocytes. Wait. So agranulocytes will also be activated, and thus you are going to find that the agranulocytes are now like producing different kinds of like secretions, whatever it actually has got inside. Okay, so all those secretions are also going to be released, and those secretions are also going to go and attack on those particular cells. All right, so this activation of all of those things are actually what is mediated by the T helper cell. Now what happened, like this is our normal immunity called the adaptive immunity. We will learn this in detail later on in the chapter. Okay, so what actually happened is, this is how our body protects us. Okay, this is how our body is responsible for fighting out any kind of like diseases or whatever conditions that has entered. Okay, problem arise that some people, they actually suffer from a primary immune deficiency which is not caused by AIDS or HIV virus. Okay, it's actually a like deficiency of the immune system which is from birth. Okay, this is called the primary immune deficiency, and the major one of them or the most severe case of them will be the severe combined immunodeficiency condition. Okay, which like till date has been found that it is all like it is because of 9 different conditions which may lead to this particular condition. Okay, out of which 2 are more severe and very common, which will be an X-linked SCID, okay, and adenosine deaminase deficiency. So these 2 conditions, the X-linked SCID and the adenosine deaminase deficiency, these 2 conditions are the like the most severe one, of which this is very prominent. This is the one with the highest number of cases, whereas this is the one which has the second highest cases that can be seen. Okay, now what is this X-linked SCID? See, the X-linked SCID is actually something that happens right here. Okay, see these molecules I said now, I did not name it at the initial like when I was talking about it. These molecules are known as interleukins. Okay, it's one of the signaling molecules of our body, codenamed as IL. So this IL has got the property of proliferation of the B cell, or even it is actually a signaling molecule. All right, now IL is not necessarily will be produced by an affected cells. It is there in our body for intercommunication between cells also, but ILs are responsible for proliferation, activation, signaling for the immune cells to come and attack in that particular site. All of those kind of signal is what is mediated by the interleukins. Okay, majorly keep in mind the word, the proliferation of the means the growth of the B cells and the T cells. Okay, so this proliferation what is affected in this X-linked SCID, because the X-linked SCID affects the IL receptors. Okay, the IL receptor protein which is present on the surface of the the B cell and the T cell, so this IL receptor will be completely blocked. Okay, actually it is not blocked, but rather the proteins is not like this is actually a protein, isn't it? So this protein will not be produced properly. It would be a wrongly produced protein which will doesn't have the receptor property of its own. Okay, so for that particular reason, the B cell and the T cell, they cannot grow. Okay, so its growth is completely stopped. So due to that, this IL, this X-linked SCID means this problem which is found in the X chromosome. So this X-linked SCID is actually turning out to cause the severe combined immunodeficiency, because if the T cells are not formed, so how will this immune response will take place, isn't it? So that's why B cell T cell proliferation, it will be completely halted by this IL receptor. Even if the cells are formed properly, if say the cells are formed properly, since the IL receptors are not formed, this signaling can even take place. It cannot even take place, because come on, I said yeah, the toxin, the IL is coming and interacting with the B cell directly, but in reality the IL is actually responsible here also. Means the signaling that is sent by the T cell to different other T cells or other cells are all mediated by the ILs, the interleukins. So if those interleukins receptors are blocked, then how will this get activated or this get activated? Any of them will get activated. None. It's not possible, isn't it? So that's why this IL receptor deficiency or the IL receptor misformation is actually what can lead to a severe immunodeficiency disorder. But the one we are going to learn about here, as it is there in the scope of your syllabus, is adenosine deaminase deficiency. Okay, so this adenosine deaminase enzyme is responsible for actually breakdown of adenosine triphosphate into something called deoxyinosine triphosphate. Okay, deoxyinosine triphosphate, which will lead to later on breakdown and formation of urea. Okay, it is like a way of purine metabolism or purine degradation, you can say, from the body. All right, so what actually happened is this ADA, which is responsible for this conversion, if this is missing, this ADA is missing, sorry, it will be deoxyadenosine triphosphate. So if this is missing, then there will be a build-up of adenosine triphosphate. Okay, there will be a large build-up in the body. All right, large build-up of DATP. Now, if DATP is present in very high quantity, actually it is responsible for DNA synthesis to stop. You may say that DATP is what is responsible for DNA synthesis, isn't it? Because DATP is the one which will enter the process of DNA synthesis and will get converted into DAMP, which will be the the building block for the DNA also, isn't it? But if DATP is present in excessively high quantity, then that DATP will not allow the other molecules to go and bind. So that way it actually is going to hinder the process of the DNA synthesis. Now if that happens, this DATP stopping this DNA synthesis process will actually stop any mitotically active cells. Okay, all mitotically active cells means whichever cells are going through mitotic division, all those cells will be completely stopped. Okay, and out of them will be the B cell and the T cell. Okay, B cell and T cell, they are formed in the bone marrow. So in bone marrow, this B cell and T cell are actually they form. Okay, so in after formation, the T cell actually moves to thymus and the B cell remains there, but the maturation, formation and all these things will happen. We'll learn about it later on in a different class. So this proliferation, if it is stopped, if their growth is completely stopped, then it will lead to complete damage to the entire system. Okay, means the B cells are not formed, the T cells are not formed, so how the immunity will actually work now? So due to that, this person, whoever is actually having this minimum production, actually even I should not say it's limited to B cell, T cell, it also is affecting the NK cell production, the one which is natural killer cell, the one responsible for our body's destruction of any cells which have gone rogue or which are which are transforming into a cancer or anything like that. Okay, it's our body's natural killer to stop any affected cell. Even virus affected cells are also destroyed by the NK cells. All right. Then there are neutrophils. All of them will stop formation, because this ADA is actually can attack all of those area. Okay, its major affected region is actually the bone marrow. Due to that, our immune system is not developing, and the person can completely will not have an immune system at all, and can die because of a simple infection also. This condition was very severe, and even it cannot be like monitored initially. Nowadays there are ways to check it, but the person who actually get affected by this condition are babies, due to which, if it is monitored, if it is found, then the baby has to be kept in a completely sterile condition. Okay, and mostly they are kept in a in kind of a environment, in a bubble environment, in which means the baby is not coming in contact with any kind of foreign pathogen from external, and it's going to be lifelong. Okay, so that's why this condition is also known as the bubble baby disease. Okay, bubble baby, because the newborn babies are kept in a plastic bubble where sterile air is supplied for the growth and development of the baby. Okay, because the baby was found of the immune compromised situation. The baby, they're not born with an immune system, but the immune system, it develops, isn't it? But in these cases, in SCID cases, the baby will not develop any immune system, so it is very dangerous for the baby to survive. That's why the baby will be kept in a sterile bubble, and then treatment will be done. So let's come about the treatment. So treatment, it's going to be genetic. Okay, yes, there are methods by which actually this can be treated or can be cured. One method is if the bone marrow transplant can be carried out. Okay, since bone marrow is actually the place where this entire all these blood cells are actually going to develop. So if the bone marrow can be transplanted, then means a healthy bone marrow can be transplanted, then actually the baby can be survived, that can survive this condition. Okay, so what has to be done is every a short interval of time, the baby has to get fresh bone marrow, which has got the proper kind of cells. Okay, and sometimes it can be for long lasting condition, or it can be a short lasting one also. So whatever way, if the bone marrow can be transplanted, then from that healthy bone marrow, all the healthy B cell and T cell can be formed. Okay, and normal immune system can be developed. The second system is actually cDNA treatment. Okay, now cDNA treatment is actually complementary DNA. This is done by collecting cells, means T cells and B cells, like the one which forms the T cell and B cell, called the hematopoietic stems, from the bone marrow, and those stems are going to get transformed with healthy cDNA of ADA. Okay, means it will be given this healthy cDNAs, complementary DNAs, okay, of the adenosine deaminase enzyme, and then those cells will be transformed, and that cell will be sent back to the body, means into the bone marrow of that affected individual. Okay, now if that happen, then actually the person will now create B cell and T cell, because healthy means actually the functional ADA are going to form, but the problem is those cells will not be long lasting one, and it will be within 6 or 7 months the person has to go through this treatment. Okay, even can be less amount of time, within less amount of time the person has to go through the same treatment again and again. So both the method are not at all permanent. There is actually a permanent way of curing it, and that will be genetic modification of zygote. Okay, if the genetic, like if the zygote can be transplanted, or if the zygote can be transplanted with like transformed rather, with this healthy cDNA, okay, means the ADA enzyme, its complementary DNA, it can be transformed directly into the zygote. Then that zygote will now grow into the, like a healthy baby, will actually produce a healthy adenosine deaminase enzyme. So that will be a complete cure, it can be said. But the problem arises is that this condition is this condition actually is not ethical. Okay, means the ethical issues are there because modifications are made from onto a onto a, like this child which is in the zygotic stage and all. There are many ethical issues that arises there. But still, this is under study, and all this treatment that has been told said here, it is in use, but still under study. All are under study because there are no cure to this condition. There is no cure to this condition until and unless healthy things can be produced or not. Yes, there is actually one fourth method that also exists. Fourth method is where immunoglobulin treatments, IV, means intravenous drips of immunoglobulin is actually sent to the person. Okay, but that is not feasible because the person has to like get a fresh supply of antibodies or immunoglobulins in a short period of time, every single time, or even anytime the person suffers from any condition, the person has to go through all this situation. Because if it is unchecked, the person will die within a year, within a span of within a year. So that's why this is a quite severe condition, quite dangerous one. But cure are only this few. Only these few are the situation or which are the treatment that is available for this particular kind of disease.